Play Alberta. Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. And for a limited time only, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code GYB50. That's how Alberta wins.
What's going on, folks? Welcome to Got Your Back, live post-game edition. Oilers, tough start against the Buffalo Sabres. Almost got it back, but we're not able to finish it off. Jason Strudwick standing by. We got Chris Sabunia, and Rob Brown will be by in just a little bit. Chris, just realizing from a technical standpoint here, I don't think I'm on the right audio. Do I sound odd?
I think you sound great, but I don't know if there's anybody hearing a lisp. You can chime in. Oh no, so Allison says Shogger lisp. No.
Yeah. Okay. So Struddy,
Accent.
you got this. I'm not gonna have a lisp for the whole first segment. I think it's just sounds bad on the show when I lisp my S's, so I just don't want to sustain that for the peoples of the show. So I'm gonna go, and I'll be right back. Brought to you by Play Alberta.
By Timberhouse, of course.
Yeah, by Timberhouse, our good buddies over at Timberhouse. Their commitment-driven process empowers the team to craft some of Edmonton's finest custom homes. If you're thinking of a garden suite, infill development, or a fully custom home, talk to Timberhouse. If you can dream it, they can build it. With a full team of in-house designers and decades of construction experience, they're bringing ideas to life, from slides hidden inside kitchen islands to garden suites for aging parents to stunning estate homes and everything in between. Visit timberhouse.ca.
He's here. I just got to get him out of the green room.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be good. How are we now?
Hey-o.
There he is.
Yeah, Sibilance 1, 2, 3. Strudwick special show. Good. S's are good. All right. I hate that.
I'm picking up a bit of a down under.
Okay, let's not go there. All right, boys. Sorry about the little technical snafu off the top, folks. I'm just driving safely now, hands-free, on my way back out to the park. Struds, you know, when the Oilers lost in Buffalo, you went off on the city of Buffalo. Do you want to just do that again? You want to just do that again tonight just because, or what do you want to do here, buddy?
No, I believe the word I used, I called it Barfalo. And yeah, I mean, listen, Barfalo stole is wrong. They took an extra point. They probably deserve 2 points here in Edmonton, but they needed, Buffalo is on a long road trip. They've been struggling. They needed these points. They got had a tough night last night in Calgary, and give them credit. They took, not stole, a point. Should have been 2 here in Edmonton tonight.
They did. Yes, they definitely did. And on a night, Zuby, where there was some e-bug excitement. The e-bug up in the press box got sent down, had to get dressed, and was one, tough play away from getting a look in there. So I know that's always exciting for dreamers like yourself, Zuby. It's just never too late.
It is truly every beer league goalie's dream who thought I'm at least one point in time or age, I'm better than beer league shows. I'm better than my talents are better than maybe this team that I'm playing with. The guy in whatever that was last year or 2 years ago, the guy in Ottawa who had to get out of his car and run with his gear up the ramp because the traffic was so backed up, that I would have been doing the same thing. I would have got there with nothing left in the tank, just for the chance to sit on the bench under a ball cap and wear the jersey. Yeah, that was great. So obviously the Buffalo Ellis, he exited. Do you know who the e-bugs are, Shogger?
No, I'm not sure who was there tonight, so I'm not 100% sure. But I do know that he had to go downstairs and get dressed, and then you sit in the Oil Kings locker room. You actually don't go sit on the bench. You sit in the Oil Kings locker room, and if you're going to go out there, you got to sign a deal. Like you literally sign, and then out you go. I think is the way it works. The way it was explained to me.
Can you imagine?
Anyways, Yeah, yeah. Could have been a cool night, but anyways, not wishing for injuries for anybody. Let's get to breaking it down, Struds, because we got some breakdowns to break down in our breakdown tonight, brought to you by our good friends at the Canadian Brew House.
Oh, they sure are good buddies. Hockey lives at the Canadian Brew House. During every Oilers game day at any Edmonton and area location, enter to win Oilers home game tickets at Rogers Place. Plus, enjoy $1 off Molson Canadian and Coors Light tankards, 30 plus beers on tap, 50 plus TVs at all the locations.
And by the way, Struds, we are going to be on location
Oh, yeah.
this weekend. So for anybody in and around the Edmonton area, Sunday, NFL Sunday, also happens to be Oilers and Habs Sunday, I believe it is, Struddy. 5 o'clock start. And we will be at, did we decide Lewis Estates? I think we decided Lewis Estates, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's in my family's neck of the woods. My parents, so my parents might come. My wife, so my kids might come all over just to have dinner and watch part of the game, so you can see, get to see my wife, the one that is really makes life pretty hard for me in many different ways. So she'll be there and answer your question.
Maybe we'll have to answer all your Strudwick related questions.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to bring a few hats down or something. Maybe we'll do some giveaways or something. We will figure it out. But awesome. Love our new partners at Canadian Brew House and happy to finally get an opportunity to do it on location. So again, that's Sunday. We'll watch the Oilers and Habs and do a podcast live from the Lewis Estates. Canadian Brew House coming up on Sunday. Okay, buddy, let's go right to the overtime winner, if you don't mind.
Oh, boy.
We're having some debate in our Got Your Back chat about the breakdowns. I'll tell you the one that I extra specially didn't like was when Leon Draisaitl won the draw clean and Evan Bouchard got out-battled in the corner for possession. That started it. What about the back end of it?
Okay, let's start where you want to end, and I'm gonna talk about. Sorry, I'm gonna start at where you wanted to at the very beginning. Leon wins a faceoff. It was an odd alignment. I think it's important to talk about the alignment. Connor, Leon, and Bouchard were all lined up as forwards. They're right up on their opponents. Buffalo decided to put Dahlin back, so Dahlin was to the left behind their center. McLeod, and then Tuch was right up against Bouchard. So really interesting. Obviously, Buffalo and every team should want to win that faceoff like crazy. Leon wins. I think McLeod actually shoots it forward. So now there's a race. I think I'm going to defend Bouchard. Let me put my bulletproof vest on here as I defend. I know. I was actually at the game tonight, and I was thinking the whole way home, and my daughter's like, "What are you thinking about?" I'm like, "I think I'm going to defend Evan Bouchard going in that overtime goal." So this is what I believe he was thinking. Alex Tuch is faster than Evan Bouchard, so I believe what he did is he decided he's going to slow it up and create like a 50 or he'll protect the puck in that corner, hoping he's going to have some support from his forwards and they'll come take the puck away from him rather than trying to make a play when he's under pressure by a bigger and faster player. There's my defense of say what you will now, Ryan.
Well, is it normally, can you expect an outnumbered situation in overtime? Can you really expect help when you're really, I mean, overtime's kind of man on man, isn't it? Do you really, like, is it not a one-on-one battle? You have to go in and make sure you win. Can you really count on help in overtime?
Well, because if you look at it, he actually goes to his left and then he kind of turns back right and presents the puck there. I believe he was thinking someone would come and just swoop in and take it from him in that moment.
Maybe, yeah.
And so I've been in that situation before, not 3-on-3, let's be honest, but in 5-on-5, I'm like, I'm not winning this puck battle, but I am going to hold the puck here for someone to take it away from me.
Yeah. Okay. Rob Brown just gave us the 5-minute signal. So we obviously want to get Brownie in on a lot of this discussion.
Yeah.
So let's take care of hearing some player sound, and then we can bring Brownie in on the core discussion about what happened, Strud. So we'll go to the Weiss Johnson sound box and hear from some of the guys. Struddy?
Yeah, if you need a new furnace, heat pump, hot water tank, or grad heater, Weiss Johnson is now offering 24 months, no interest, equal payments, OAC to make your purchase easier heading into this Christmas season. They're family helping your family for nearly 50 years, which is crazy. Visit wjjingle.com for exclusive specials just for our buddies that listen to Got Your Back and the Jingle Lovers. Hit it.
With Johnson, whoa, we're proud to be local.
Okay, just quickly before we roll Chris Knobloch on the overtime winner, Struds, I do want you to finish explaining what you saw on the rest of the overtime goal.
Yeah, so in a nutshell from there, the Oilers overcheck. Connor, Bush, and Leon all go to one corner, and that leaves Tuch in front. There's no reason for 97 to leave the front of the net. Connor and Leon had a 2-on-1 going on there, and he doesn't have to go in there. I believe he's cheating there, hoping to get it. But in that moment, Ryan McLeod just digs it out and just fires it in. Now, Bush should go in there harder, take McLeod out, no doubt about it. He doesn't, allows McLeod space to make a play, and he takes advantage of a wide open net Tuch in front, who tucks it right by Skinner.
Okay, so as I watched the play, I mean, Leon and Draisaitl and Bouchard were kind of both sort of puck watching. To me, it was Leon's guy, and then like Bouchard kind of flared over to him, but then Bouchard tailed off into the corner, like into no man's land, where he was literally covering nobody. And then 100% agree, McDavid vacated the slot area unnecessarily. He should have recognized his two teammates were there. Clearly there's going to be someone backdoor. So I think the primary mistake is probably McDavid's on the slot coverage, but I just have no concept of where Evan Bouchard was thinking he was supposed to be in that moment. So I thought it was a terrible play by him after a lost battle in the corner. McDavid blows coverage in the middle, and in it goes. To the Weiss Johnson soundbox, here's Chris Knobloch on the overtime winner.
I think there was just some confusion on who was checking the puck, and then ultimately we gave him too much time, and the guy slips in behind. So I think it was just each guy out there assuming the other guy was going to be checking the puck, and ultimately we got three guys around it, but not checking it, and just communication.
Okay, what did they think of the rest of the game? Let's go Zach Hyman now on a power play that had lots of opportunities, and their night.
Yeah, the power play has been obviously running really well lately. Thought we had looks tonight. I had one on the backside I'd like to have back. We had a couple other looks. But yeah, I mean, we're not going to score every night in the power play as much as we'd like to. But I thought we were able to get back in the game, 5-on-5, and then a bunch of huge kills, build some momentum on the power play maybe, and then got the 6-on-5 goal. So
you guys pull your way back into it. You grab a point. Obviously, it's a group that's had your share of downs this year. So are you looking to pull positives? Does it erase maybe what happened in the first quarter?
You'd like to play full 60, especially with the way that we've been trending. It's been in the right direction. First 40 wasn't great, but I think I really like the group's push back. It's easy. You're down 3-0 to just go away and write the game off. But we didn't do that. We scored on the first shift, and then another one in the next 2 minutes, and you're right back in the game, and you call yourself a point out of a game where you put yourself in a hole. So I think that's a positive.
All right, lastly, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and listen to the end of this clip.
I mean, that's just not the case in this league anymore. Especially, like you said, they lost 3 in a row. They're on a back-to-back. They gave up, I think, 7 last night to Calgary. So they're going to want to defend hard and play hard in front of their goalie. And we saw that. But like I said, I mean, I don't think it was a bad game for us. It was just a matter of finding a way to break them down. And eventually we did it, but you want to get to it a little earlier, if anything.
Wasn't a bad game, just want to get to it a little earlier. I understand, Struds, like there's been a lot of down this year, and the team wants to pull some positives, and I get it. Yes, they battled back. I don't know if this is what they really think or what they're just saying, but I think they need to be harder on themselves for the garbage that was the first 40 minutes. I think they needed to be saying, we got lucky to even get a point out of that the way we played the first 40 minutes of that. Am I wrong? I thought it was almost inexcusable the way they played the first portion of that game.
I believe that what they're saying privately and publicly are not the same. I'd be really surprised that there's I would have a hard time walking in that room saying, yeah, we played a pretty good first 40 minutes. They just weren't present. What do they have? 11 shots after, was it 2 periods? I'd have to go back and look, whatever it is. But they just didn't have enough juice to their game to start. It was such a flat environment. I don't know if I mentioned, I was in there tonight, and it was just a flat start. Bad penalties. I don't know if anyone wants to talk about the refereeing. I'm sure people are going to be blaming the ref for this loss. There was some bad penalties taken by the Edmonton Oilers. And at best, I'd call them 50-50 calls where you give the ref an opportunity to put himself inside the game. So, yeah, so they had 18 shots after the first 2 periods. They ended up with got 12 in the third. This wasn't, it just, the first 40 minutes wasn't good enough. It was not good enough. So I don't believe that privately they're saying what they're saying publicly.
Yeah, and they're going to do that sometimes, right? You spin it a little differently. The team doesn't need more negativity. I like the way you put that. The ref's putting himself inside the game. I think there's another word you could use to describe something similar as far as what they did to this game, Struds. I did not like the refereeing in this game at all. And
which ones did you like?
It goes both ways. They got
Okay.
ticky-tacky and weird. I thought there were garbage calls in both directions. I thought the McDavid goal, I looked at it again, I feel like that was icing. You know what I mean?
I didn't
They got way too involved making ticky-tacky calls in both directions. Like, just get out of the way. Call the obvious ones. Get the hell out of the way. They started managing the game and overhandling it.
I'll challenge you there. I think that any player who puts a stick parallel to the ice into another person's hands, you're allowing the ref to make a choice. It's a judgment call at that moment. Like Zach Hyman puts a stick.
What about the Hyman interference? What about the Hyman interference call?
I didn't love that one.
He slightly changed his angle.
Yeah, I did.
So that's a bad call.
But that's a
right
pick.
there.
But again, Shogger, that's a pick, right?
I'm here too, though, Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Brownie.
Oh, hey, Brownie.
So in my mind, he's picking the player. He's picking the player. Like, everyone saw what he was doing. Again, is there picking in hockey? There is, but it's a 50-50 call. So it's it's like if you're driving 70 on a 60-kilometer-hour. It's like you're giving the police a chance to call you to pull you over. So like that the Nugent Hopkins one behind the net, I didn't love it. Now I think the guy dove at the end, but there's no doubt in my mind Nuge had his stick on the player's glove and gave it a tug. So again, that's a 50-50 call. You're like, which way is it going to go? A lot of times it doesn't go.
I mean, the makeup call for the 5-on-3 that he called against the Sabres was atrocious. Like, Brownie, the point I'm making, and this isn't our main point of the game, we're kind of into it here. I thought the refs made this thing way messier than it needed to be, including a missed icing on McDavid's goal. Like, I just thought the refs were mucky tonight.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing that they were, though, was consistent. So you're both right. Like, to me, the Hyman penalty is not a penalty. The Alex Tuch penalty while on the 5-on-3 was absolutely atrocious. The Nugent Hopkins one, he did get a stick up the guy dove. But they were consistent. They were calling everything all night long. Now, as a player, your job is to read the ref. Because there's some nights where the refs call nothing. You get away with a little bit more. So you can do more. Tonight, they were pretty obvious what they were calling. Because they called, I think it ended up being 8 power plays in the game combined or something along that line. So I didn't like some of the calls, but they were consistently bad both ways. It's funny, the McDavid goal, I don't know if you saw, right after he scored, I think it was Darlene went to the ref and the linesman like, hey, like, seriously, how is that not an icing?
Yeah.
So, and it changed, and that literally, that changed the game. That one right there, if that's called icing, all of a sudden, all Buffalo had to do was survive the first 5 minutes with a 3-0 lead. The Oilers, it would have been much tougher. But that goal gave life to a team that had no life through 40 minutes. I heard you guys talking about the players saying that we couldn't play bad, it wasn't good. I mean, we were okay. The first 40 minutes, the Oilers had zero urgency, zero desperation, playing against a bad Buffalo team that is struggling, that had played back-to-back on a long road trip. The Oilers come out and play like they had in the previous 3 or 4 or 5 games. This game would have been over in their favor in the first period. They allowed the Buffalo Sabres to have hope and belief. And to me, that's on the Oilers not coming out and playing very good.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel you on that one, Brownie. Really quick, take us through the overtime winner. Two pieces to it. One, Struds wasn't as hard on Bouchard on the lost battle in the corner. He thought maybe he was trying to create a 50-50 puck for a teammate to come in and help out. I respectfully disagreed on that. And then take us through the core mistake on the goal.
Well, to start with, Ryan McLeod wanted that puck right where it went. Ryan McLeod tried going forward before, and they had the puck didn't get dropped, and they did again. That was a set play. Ryan McLeod knows that he can't let Leon win the faceoff, or Buffalo's not going to touch the puck all of overtime. So he had a play set where he's going to dump it into Bouchard's corner. And I think anyone that watches and does tape or video on the Oilers knows that sometimes Bouchard is a little lackadaisical with his effort towards getting pucks. He had a big enough stretch on Alex Tuch. He should have got that puck easily and picked it up, and everything would have been fine. He slowed down, didn't go in with any sort of speed. Alex Tuch read it, and he just sold out. He's like, I'm winning this battle. He did win the battle, and then the Oilers never touched the puck. As for the game-winning goal, Ryan McLeod's coming up the ice with the puck. That's Leon Draisaitl's man. Leon is following him. He's skating into his own zone, following him. You can watch. Leon looks as Bouchard actually goes towards McLeod, and Leon looks. So Leon backs off, but then Evan stops and just allows McLeod time and space. At that point, Leon reacquires McLeod. He stops and kind of swings his stick. Evan Bouchard stopped. I have no idea what he was doing where he was standing. He's standing on the bottom of the circle. There's no player near him. There's no puck near him. He's not in the danger area. He was almost standing where a ref would stand if he was watching the play. So he's completely out of the play. So that one's on him. And then Connor McDavid is in the danger area. He's in the slot, and he starts puck watching. He comes towards the puck, hoping that there's a turnover and he can skate up ice. But he left the only dangerous area on the ice. Alex Tuch, who was out at the blue line, skates in, gets a wide open breakaway on a beautiful play by Ryan McLeod. But to me, that is on Evan Bouchard for one, but more on Connor McDavid. If Connor McDavid just stands in the slot, then Ryan McLeod has no play. Ryan McLeod's probably going to eat it, or Leon's going to take the puck from him. But Connor McDavid and Evan Bouchard actually bumped into each other. They were both in no man's land, bumped into each other when Alex Tuch had the puck. So to me, that goal was on 2:97.
Yeah. So as a D-man, you see that coming. If you're going to take over coverage, you're like, Leon, out of here. I got him. And then you're on him. Like you squeeze that guy like a zit when you're heading out to a prom. Like you can't just not give it space, because what happens, it becomes a situation where you say, you take him, I got him. And no one really knows what the hell's going on. And that's what it looked like. So zero communication verbally that I saw in that moment between those two.
Yeah.
And it's on the D-man.
So
That's on the D-man.
Let's get to our storylines here, brought to you by Play Alberta, with casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province. There's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, you can get a $50 free bet when you make a minimum $50 deposit with the code GYB50. That's code GYB50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Didn't hit on this one tonight. I think we had an Oilers outright win boosted with 6.5 goals, Zuby. So we expected there to be a pretty good number of goals tonight. Oilers don't come out and get the win, so we come up a little bit short on this one. But just a real missed opportunity, Struds. Like, Buffalo rolls in here, and I've heard radio segment after radio segment about how pathetic this team has been playing in this rebuild and how long it's taking. And the Oilers have dropped 3 out of 4 points of this team now.
Yeah, they sure have. And I've played on bad teams. I played on some decent teams. The best thing you can do as a bad team is just hang around. Like after the first period, the Sabres are probably like, guys, we're in this thing. like we're right, we're doing okay, and then you just keep getting confidence, and then you start playing better. The worst thing that happens is when you play like when against the Jets, you just come out and just drop the hammer on a team that has no confidence. Well, the Buffalo Sabres were like, this actually isn't that bad. So I really think that the Oilers did themselves a disservice by the way they started. For sure, the first period in this one, Browntown.
Well, 100%. We talked about it on our pregame. The key to the game was going to be the first period. The Buffalo Sabres are a team that's struggling on a road trip, played back-to-back, gave up 7 last night. This game could have been over in the first 20 minutes if the Oilers come out and push the Buffalo Sabres, get the lead on them, just give them no hope. The worst thing that could possibly happen for the Oilers is they allow the Buffalo Sabres to believe at the end of the first period that they have a chance. And the way the Oilers played in the first period, the Buffalo Sabres are like, oh my God, this is our night, guys. This is where we're turning our season around. So, yeah, I agree with both of you guys. This is a game that the Edmonton Oilers start could have completely finished off the Buffalo Sabres. Instead, they allowed a bad team to hang around, get belief and hope into their dressing room and on their bench, and it turned into 2 points for Buffalo.
So we have talked in recent shows about Evan Bouchard cutting out the big mistake recently, and he has, like, for the most part, he has. It's been better. But holy snap, that might have been, was that the worst one of the season, Brownie, all year long? I mean, was there one more egregious than that?
Well, I mean, the Barzell one in Long Island, when he just took it off his stick, it was almost the same thing. It was almost like, well, I mean, it's hard to believe that Evan didn't notice Tage Thompson. Tage is the biggest player on the ice. He's 6'6", 230 pounds. Like, the puck gets dumped in, Skinner comes out, stops the puck, sets it up, Bouchard has it. Oh, here comes Alex Tuch one way, I'm going to come around. And then all of a sudden, Tage Thompson, okay, thank you, I'm going to pull out. Like, I think it shocked Stuart Skinner as well. And they showed a close-up of Bouchard on the bench, and it was like, holy F, wow. Like, it was almost like I don't even know where he just came out of nowhere. He had the Harry Potter invisible cloak over top of him and just took the puck off my stick. But yeah, I agree. To me, that was as big a mistake as you'll see all year long. Like, literally, as big a mistake as you'll see all year long. And that is the exact reason why, that mistake right there, that I don't believe that Evan Bouchard will be on the Olympic team. A mistake like that could cost the team in a quarterfinal, semifinal, final game, and I just don't think Team Canada wants to risk it. But yeah, it was a tough night for Evan Bouchard.
I had a thought about Evan as I was driving home. When I look at Evan, one of the things that makes him so good is how calm he is with the puck, right? And he's so patient. He almost waits people, and people can't believe he was waiting that long. The problem is when he's off a hair, like he was tonight, it really goes badly, right? And he's so calm. Yeah, well, I mean, but think about the times we've seen him do things that walking the blue line, where you're just cringing and can't believe that he's able to make that play because he's so calm and so, high risk in that moment. But his calmness is what seems to get him through it. But when it goes sideways like it did in that play you guys are talking about. Because that's one that you wouldn't see a call up do, in his first game.
I see that being more off by more than a hair. Like Struds, was it just me? You guys were in the building. I'm pretty sure he was catching some boos himself, because after that mistake, he had another shift where he was meandering around and turning it over in his own end. And like, I think the crowd had some specific boos for him. Was that just me, Brownie, or did you pick that up too?
No, they were booed. Yeah, there was a lot of boos coming for Bouchard. Now, again, if you're a player, you can kind of like, oh, look, yelling, they're cheering for me, they're going Boosh. But they weren't booshing, they were booing. That was a really tough. That was a tough night. The Boosh Boo Birds were out tonight, and I mean, I don't boo and would never boo at any sport event. I don't believe in it. But if there was ever a night that would call for a boo here or there, for Evan Bouchard tonight was the night.
Okay, Struds, you've got Relentless, crunching the numbers and you've got the poll to get done. I'm going to go inside, but as I leave, let's go back to the Weiss Johnson sound box and hear Chris Knobloch talking about how you handle that situation when Bouchard does that.
Mostly a conversation the next day about what had happened on the play. To tear a strip off him in between periods or on the bench, I don't think is productive. He knows he made some mistake. He knows that that's not the right play. It'd be different if Evan didn't care. If Evan didn't feel that he believed that he didn't make a mistake, but he pretty good self-awareness that he understands what happened on the play.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, I've had Coach tear a strip off me. I'm sure you, Brownie, have as well. And we know the mistake, right? Like I never really understood that. Just ripping me apart when you make a mistake. I know I made a mistake. I guess if you don't, then that's a bigger issue. But Knobloch, I think he's got a sense of how to handle Bouchard and a night like tonight where he was off. Let's dig in now, Brownie, to our Relentless Play here, brought to you by UCAN Youth Services, an Edmonton charity, relentless in creating possibilities for local youth. Mental health drives growth and success, the key to thriving, not just surviving. With 2 in-house counselors offering free therapy, their youth have the support they need to navigate struggles and rediscover their strength. Visit ucan.ca to donate today. Brownie, in the building today, I really, really admired the play of Vasily Podkolzin. I thought he was flying. He was retrieving pucks. He was making really nice little slip passes all over. Played 15 minutes, he scored a goal, 3 shots. He had three hits tonight. Did the big Russian. I thought he was fantastic tonight, Brownie.
Well, it's funny, on 880 Chat at the end of the game, we picked the 4-star of the game, and that's what I went with was the Colvin. It's funny, over the course of the season, everybody has ups and downs in games. As we saw tonight, Evan Bouchard's been great. The last 12 games tonight was a down game. I don't know if you'll ever see a down game from Podkolzin. I really don't.
Nice.
His bar is at a certain level. He doesn't go over the bar very high, but if he's ever under it, it's just slightly. And what I love about him, he knows who he is. In the third period, they had a 4-on-4, and he and Savoy were on the ice. He got the puck to the neutral zone with speed. He gets the blue line. He's like, well, I know what my strength is. He flipped the puck into the corner and chased it down and got it. Didn't try beating the guy one-on-one. He knew that I'm a guy that goes in, I forecheck. He's gaining more and more confidence with the puck on his stick, and the goal he scored was simple. He out-battled the guy he was playing against. He got 3 whacks at it, put the puck in the net. So 100%, I agree with you on that one. Relentless player. But Colvin was fantastic tonight.
Yeah, that's 6th goal of the year, right? So he's tracking, I don't know what the math is, somewhere 15, 16, 17 goals. And I actually see him getting more opportunities. He had a tip that just kind of missed tonight. It feels like he's finding a little bit more offensive mojo. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but man, he looked good tonight. On a night where a lot of Oilers were flat, I thought he was really going specifically in those first 40 guys. Let's slip into crunching numbers, brought to you by McDonald's. Who's of Canadavale? Do be warned. The Grinch is back and he's feeling quite scorned. He's built a worse box with odd socks as a prize, even left behind a Who Hash surprise. Looking to see the Grinch's big reveal? It's only at McDonald's, his Grinchiest meal. For limited time only, while supplies last, at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada. Let's take a look at these. And I think these really do tell a tale tonight, Brownie. I'll read them out for people that can't see them. Brought to you by our buddies over at Sport Logic. Ozone possession time for the Oilers, 7 minutes, 26 seconds. The Sabres, 3:48. Turnover scoring chances, 3 for the Oilers, 11 for the Sabres. Ooh, that's ugly. Slot driving plays, 26 for the Oilers, 15 for the Sabres. And this is another one that really caught my eye. Slot shots on net. The Oilers 11, the Sabres 11. So, Brown, you hear me speak it in that way as far as the turnover chances, the slot driving plays, getting the puck into the slot, and how many shots were actually taken from there. What make you of these types of numbers?
Well, two things. Puck management through the first 40 minutes was terrible for the Oilers. That's why you saw the Buffalo Sabres with the chances off turnovers. And all of those chances more or less would have been in the first 40 minutes because I think Buffalo only had 5-6 shots in the third period. So the bad puck management through 40 minutes for the Oilers. As for the slot shots, and it's funny, we had a couple callers on our show tonight call, and I can tell you, and you've been in a dressing room, no coach will ever get mad at a player for shooting the puck on net. Ever. Ever. You could do a million things in a game and get screamed at by a coach, but you could put the puck on net. The coach, yeah, well, it's worth a chance. And the Colton goal is a great example of why you put pucks on net. Leon wasn't going to score there. He put the puck into the blue paint. Now the battle begins. So even if you're in the slot and you don't think you can score, but if you put the puck on net, that creates a scoring chance. It creates a battle. Why not battle 5 feet from the goalie as opposed to being on the perimeter? So I don't know. I know the Oilers pass up some shots, and they do every game. Unless it's Connor or Leon, to me, everybody else's first thought should be shot because a bad goal can go in. It could deflect off somebody, would go in. It could create a scoring chance off a rebound. To me, the Oilers did pass up on too many, where at the other end, Buffalo Sabres, if they had an opportunity, they were putting it on net.
Yeah, like I think you just nailed it with the slot shots. I'm not the type of guy that thinks everything should go to the net. Like that's how there are NHL teams and teams that I've seen play. In minor hockey, everything's a shot. Everything's a shot. But I don't agree with that. I think when you are in the home plate area, and I would take that from the goalpost out to the dots, face-off stop, and even up to the top of the circle, then across. So it kind of creates a home plate. If you're in there, shoot it. And then if I know you're going to shoot it, Brownie, that means I'm going to go there because I'm going to get a pass or potential rebound. And that sounds unskilled, but you know how hard you have to work to get to the middle of the ice and have an open shot? Like it's really tough. Even for the most elite players, but for the average to bottom player, it's really tough to get in there. Look at players' shot totals. It's not like the bottom line is getting 5 shots a night.
Well, and that goes to a thing too. Know who you are as a player. I've been on every line you could be on the NHL. I've been on the first line. I've been on the fourth line. When I was on the third and fourth line, it was simple. You and your line mates know if there's not an open play, fire it at the goalie's feet. Because now your line mates know this is where the puck's going. So your third, fourth line guys, you're all going to them. For example, tonight, Tomasic, Frederick, and Lazar. Every time they're in the offensive zone, when the guys got the puck, fire from the goal line at the goalie's feet. Because if the other two guys are going there, there's chaos. Pucks can hit feet, pucks can hit shin pads. You just got to know who you are. You don't expect Connor and Leon to throw pucks away when they can make better plays. But if you're Henrique, if you're Janmark, those are the guys that when they get the puck, you can shoot from anywhere and create offense from putting pucks into the middle of the ice, into the slot, into the blue paint, and then crash the net.
Let's leave it right there, and we'll jump into our YouTube poll brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. Uncle Al and Scott here giving out our GYB listeners the gift of golf this Christmas. TJ and the Christmas Elves are grinding to help you find their best gifts for the golfer on your list. Purchase a gift card between December 1st and the 24th of $100 or more and receive 10% back as a gift for you. Pick yours up at 5311 99th Street in Edmonton. What do you got for us tonight, Zoobs, the old dog?
Well, we decided to let the fans kind of have their say, as there was much discussion about this overtime goal. So in the interest of being fair, I gave all 4 Oilers on the ice as a choice here, as an option. So the question was, which Oiler was most at fault for the overtime goal? We got McDavid, we got Bouchard, we got Draisaitl, and we got Stu Skinner. Those are the 4 options. You might imagine 2 of those are pretty strongly pulling away, and but it's gone back and forth quite a bit. It looks like there's a clear leader emerging, but it actually has gone back and forth quite a bit to this point. So I thought, since you guys all had the opportunity sort of to plead your case, to talk about them from your perspective, we'll see where it lands with the stream here.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are fired up about that goal, and rightly so. And honestly, I was there, and I thought that once they kind of fought off the face-off. They were gonna win this game, and they weren't able to do it. They had all the momentum, but credit Buffalo. That could be a pretty important win for Buffalo, a team trying to find any kind of traction this year to be a playoff team. Okay, guys, let's take a quick pause. When we come back, we'll get Schauger back in here. Zub, Brownie, myself, and all of our listeners. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Give us a thumbs up or subscribe as we're going to break. We'll be right back, everybody.
At Modern Measure, every item of clothing starts from scratch and is designed from the ground up, based on both your style preferences and current fashion trends. Their clothing is fully designed to give you the exact look you're looking for, down to the smallest details and customization. The Modern team will work with you to make sure that you not only look and feel great, but make the most of your investment. On the ground floor of Edmonton Tower downtown, Modern Measure. Mainline Water and Sewer specializes in sewer line repair and replacement using advanced trenchless methods for fast, clean results. They provide detailed sewer assessments and scoping to identify problems before they become costly. Serving both residential and commercial properties, no job is too big or too small, and with over 40 years of experience, they've seen it all. Trust Mainline to keep your lines flowing smoothly. All right, I am back up and running inside the beautiful Timber Haas studio out here in Sherwood Park. Bring your ideas to life. See what you can dream up together with Timber Haas. Time now for our takeaways, brought to you by Chandos Construction. Chandos doesn't just hire talent, they invest in it. They're 100% employee owned, so when their people grow, the whole company grows. Ready to build something that matters? Apply now at chandos.com/apply. That's chandos.com/apply. All right, gents, let's continue diving into this game tonight. I'm gonna say I'm consistent with this. That's why I don't mind saying it. I know they tied the game, and I know that they got back into the game. But once again, I found myself not loving Chris Knobloch making a line adjustment in the third period and putting the big guys together. There's about 7 minutes left. So McDavid comes out. His line scores an even strength goal. Draisaitl's line goes out. His line scores an even strength goal. Time to change the lines. I just don't understand it. And again, I know they tied it at the end, but why not just leave that alone, Brownie?
Well, I thought the same thing. I mean, the problem is when they put Connor and Leon together in third period, most times they have success. They're down a goal and they're thinking, all right, we're down just one now. We got to put Connor and Leon together. They're going to get us at least one. And they did. So I can see why Knobloch does it. But this goes to what we've talked about a whole bunch the last couple of years on this podcast, is the Oilers, a lot of players become spectators. They're watching Connor and Leon win or tie a game for them. They don't become as involved. We saw Podkolzin, how big a goal he scored, and then he becomes a passenger the rest of the game when they put those two together. So I prefer in the third period they let them try to find their way on separate lines, but I completely understand why Knobloch does it, because they continually have success when they do it. Would they have success if they didn't? We don't know, Strud, because we never ever see them run the four lines or actually the three lines for a third period.
Yeah, you know what? It's not like anyone was really killing it through 40, right? And so it's not like we got to get player XYZ out there. I thought Podkolzin, let me highlight Podkolzin and Kurt Lazar. I thought both those guys were really going tonight and playing well. Lazar really played well tonight, actually. But that being said, you get into the situation where you're trying to catch up and you put those guys together, but it wasn't like they were killing. I thought tonight Leon at times was trying to pass a little bit too much, maybe standing still as well. And there's some turnovers that probably didn't need to happen. I'm not putting the loss at his feet, but he just sets a high bar for himself that I think many people would expect a little different outcome. So I would have probably left them separate. And to Brownie's point, just keep everyone flowing in that game and let them come back as a team. in this one.
Yeah. I mean, he did it in the Minnesota game. I think that was the last one where I kind of complained about it a little bit because, I mean, they had played a really good game, and at even strength, they'd played pretty well, and just gets tinkering a little bit. I think maybe he senses frustration with his big guys at times, feeling like maybe if it's not quite working with the line mates, he senses some frustration here and there. But man, I just let her breathe a little bit, especially when they both got an even strength goal, both those lines. That's kind of an interesting one. All right, Struds, where else do you want to take this one? Like, maybe we're being a little bit too, there's some people on the stream that are like, can we talk about McDavid in the third and the comeback and the goal at the end of the game? And I mean, they did battle back from a 3-0 deficit. As much as we want to crap on them for some blown coverage in overtime and a crappy first 40 minutes, they did battle back. They did grab a point, and it was a third period performance where you felt like it was coming, Struds. They made it very interesting down to the wire. So, I don't know. Should we talk positive for a minute about some of that?
I'll be very
maybe?
positive.
I don't know.
I've got a really positive statement. If they play in the third like that in the first, they win this game probably 7-0. Right? That's just the truth. And you sometimes have to know what your opponent's situation is. And they, for whatever reason, weren't able to bring that in the first period.
I agree, and that's what we talked about. That's the team that you jump on, and the game is over. But you let them have hope. You let them have belief. It's the Buffalo Sabres in between the second and third period. They would have talked about two things: do not take a penalty, and get through the first 5 minutes of the third period. If they got through the first 5, they would have belief. 3-goal lead, all is good. But that first shift, McDavid winning the race, winning the battle, going to the net and scoring. To me, at that point, I'm like, okay, this thing is going to overtime at least. Because the Buffalo Sabres are a team that doesn't know how to win. The Edmonton Oilers are a team that when they get some momentum, and you could see Connor McDavid said, all right, here we go. Here we go. You actually saw him say that to Ekholm when they were they were congratulating each other off the goal. So you're like, okay, the Buffalo Sabres are not going to be able to match what the Oilers bring. And, I mean, they almost got there. Buffalo Sabres just about got across the finish line, but it also shows that two things. There's no safe lead in the National Hockey League, ever. Anymore the way the league plays with the offense and the penalties. And the Edmonton Oilers, if they're within 2 goals at any point in the third period, they have a chance of winning that hockey game because they are that talented, and Connor and Leon can create things out of nothing. So it went down to 2 seconds to go, but there was just that belief, Struds, that they were going to come back in this hockey game because we've seen it just too many times.
Yeah, and they've played that game before, right? Where they've come back and win. Listen, in their last 3 games, they're 2-0-1. They're definitely trending in the right direction, but I think that as a whole, as media and or fans, you want to see this team continue to progress in the right way. So now you're kind of wondering, did they or did they not take a step forward, like in the last week or two? Now I'm kind of wondering. I can't wait actually for Thursday night.
So, Strud, can I say one thing here, Schauger?
Of course.
This game Thursday, think about how important this game becomes. Everything looked like the Oilers were trending the right direction. They won in Seattle, and then, I mean, the Minnesota game, even though they lost, they deserved a victory. They won a couple. But with this loss in overtime tonight, if the Oilers lose to Detroit, this 5-game homestand that was supposed to be with all the rest, all the practice, things going in the right direction, will become a 2-2-1, a 500 homestand. So everything, all the steps forward that they look like they were taking, if they don't win the game against the Detroit Red Wings in 2 days' time, it becomes a 500 homestand where all the excuses were gone. So to me, it becomes very important on Thursday night.
Good point.
Yeah, it's a great perspective to put that game in. The other thing, too, that this is a signal to me, guys. I read something into this game, into their start. The fact that they let this point get away. The fact that the Buffalo Sabres already did this to them this year. Like, they've learned the lesson already this year with Buffalo. This is not, I mean, to me, it's about handling your success right? It's not just about bouncing back when you win. Mature teams, smart teams, veteran teams can handle their success and realize not to get too big on their britches, not to get ahead of themselves. And like Struds, come out and put together another excellent effort, because as a group, you know how important it is to keep pushing in that direction. They didn't handle their little bit of success that they had. They just didn't handle it very well.
They look flat. I think I've got something I'm going to talk about in Struddy's world that can maybe, take it a little bit further here. But they were just flat. The building was flat. The Sabres were flat. The Oilers were flat. And the Sabres love that. They want to have a 0-event game. They were so happy to have the lowest event game, nothing really happening, especially in that first, guys.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to our core adjustments, brought to you by HSE Core Services. From creating and managing safety programs to audits and those required contractor registries, HSE Core keeps your business compliant so you can keep working. Visit www.hsecor.com for more information. This isn't really a core adjustment. This is more a reporter follow-up on a story. Lots was made the other night, Struds. I didn't see the hug between Calvin Pickard and Stuart Skinner after the game. I didn't see it. I don't know if you noticed it, Brownie. People on the show were asking about it. They're like, where's Pickard going? What's going on? Like, why was the embrace what it was? It was like a 6 to 8 second embrace that had people wondering what the heck was up. So, of course, Stuart Skinner talking to the media today. I mean, I did it for all of you folks. I had to ask, what was up with the hug? Here it is in the Weiss Johnson soundbox.
What would you say in terms of steamboats, 1 steamboat, 2 steamboat, a normal hug would be? Like, we're talking 2, 3 steamboats. Like, what would a normal hug be?
What are we talking about here?
Well, you had this hug with Calvin Pickard.
Oh, the hugs. Oh, my gosh,
It kind of caught fire online. It was a 6 steamboat hug.
Yeah, it was, it was kind of funny. I gave him an embrace because he was talking about our embrace the game before. So it was just something funny that we wanted to do. But, no, I think I felt bad for him in that game just because obviously we get a lot of goals. And for him, so, I mean, every goalie has been in that position where you get up 5-6 goals and, you start to give up a few chances and sometimes it doesn't go your way. So just seeing the stat line and seeing the shots on goal, it was going really well to the last 2 seconds. So I just felt bad for him because I've been in that position. I think every goalie in the league's been in a position. So yeah, I just kind of felt bad for him on that end. But at the same time, you give him that hug because it's a big win. You got 2 points, and that's truly what matters. So yeah, and then last game, we were just having a little fun.
All right, so you can kill it there, buddy. You can kill it there. He also said a little bit later on, I also give him a hug because we love each other. So making it very clear just how close they were. So Quaddy says, can we park the goalie hug gate now, Shogger? Yes. Now that the question has been asked and answered. Brownie, were you a big hugger with your teammates back in the day?
Yeah, I'm still a big hugger. When you love someone, you give them a hug. That's how you greet them. I greet my buddies. I greet them with hugs. We don't handshakes or knuckles. It's always hugs. So yeah, 100%.
Struds?
Not a big hugger. No, I'm trying to get better. I had my kids hug my mom. I'm trying to get better. It's just not my thing. But I mean, I give very intense looks, like, hey man, that was as good as a hug. Bank that one.
I forced a hug out of Struddy when we met for the first time.
Yeah.
I just went right in for it. There was some discussion before you got there, and I said, I'm just going for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Zuby's he was in there. He was like, if the Oilers forecheck like that, they would never come out of the offensive end.
Didn't I film that? Did we put it on the show, Zuby, when you and Struds met for the first time? I think I filmed it, but I think
you filmed it. I don't think we put it anywhere.
Oh, well, I'll have to check for it in the break.
Yeah, we've talked for 4 or 5 years, and finally we meet. He comes in for the hug. I'm like, geez, buddy, buy me a drink at least.
Yeah. You're an awkward guy to hug, though, Struds. When we were doing the video to promote our very first, the podcast was starting, part of the gag was I was coming to knock on your door, and you were trying to get rid of me, and I wanted to give you a hug, and you were like, oh, okay, we're doing this. And we did 2 or 3 takes.
Yeah.
I don't want to pump your tires here, but like you're a large barrel chested, like honestly, I felt like I was trying to hug like a I don't know, like one of those closets you build and put in like a kid's room that doesn't have a closet.
It's like jumping onto a bed full of pillows. There's no doubt about it. These pecs are everywhere.
Oh boy. Zuby, before we go to break, buddy, tell everybody what Discord is and why they should care. You can probably explain it to us too. You made us all sign up for this thing. We have no idea what it is. We have no idea how it works. And you're like, trust me, people are doing this that have podcasts. So please explain to all of us what Discord is and why we're on it.
Well, I do a terrible job of explaining what it is, but because someone just asked me here, it's an online community. It's almost like a group chat for people who are for everyone, for people who are fans of the show as well. And it's a place to gather, and there's all these, you can set all your different topics that people can chime in on. And so you could chat there, you can share GIFs, you can share YouTube links, memes, whatever. And so it's like a group chat community for the fans and friends of our show here. So the thought was, and then the other kind of some of the ideas I had is that people could share a Got Your Backstory there. If, staying true to our roots, people could share Got Your Backstories there. We could do a little post-show chat. Steve or I might still be available as we're working through the minutia once the show's done. And lots of times people on the chat are still talking. They're still talking as the show's done. The YouTube chat stays open for like 15 minutes. There's still people talking in there. So they can jump over to the Discord now to keep that conversation going if they want. And just have a little fun. And for all of us, because social media is gigantic, right? And you've got all of these people, all of our friends are out there. Well, this brings them all to the same spot so they can communicate without having to DM somebody, find them on Twitter, DM somebody, puts everybody in the same spot. So it's free to get a Discord profile, free to join our Discord server. And the link is in the description, and I'm going to be adding the invite link to join our Discord in a bunch of different places on our Twitter bio and wherever else fine meats are sold.
Is Brownie's wife going to trust him with it?
Well, there's zero chance I'm going on this because I did not understand a single word that he just said.
Nothing, hey. All right.
And we do have to point out that the friends of Oilers, the Foos, that's our Florida fan Joe, our Dallas fan Kayla, our Canucks fan Blommer. These guys are all over. The Discord is being overrun by the Foos, the out-of-towners right now. So local fans, we need you to get in there and support and show the Oiler fan strong on the Got Your Back Discord server.
Good stuff. Hit us up on Discord. We'll be all over it, we promise. Okay, before we go to break, guys, just got to throw this out there. Struds, I know the Strudwick family is excited about this. The Rishaugs are too. Randine's taken, I think we got a bunch of tickets. December 27th, if you have Taylor Swift fans in your family, December 27th, her name is Charity Eden, and she is the #1 Taylor Swift performer in the world, and she is coming to Edmonton. It's the amazing live production, the unofficial end of an era tour featuring Charity Eden. It hits the Jubilee Auditorium December 27th, and songs from Life of a Showgirl as well. You can get tickets at Ticketmaster.ca. So I know Strud Schoen is going to grab a few, Randine's grabbing a few. Great gift idea if you're looking for it. So tickets are available at Ticketmaster.ca, the unofficial end of an era tour, Struddy.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. My daughter and my wife are so jacked. They're going to bring a friend. I love it. I'm into Taylor Swift. I've become a Swiftie. My daughter plays it so much in the car. So, yeah, I think it'd be great. A great night. I love the Jubilee.
There you go. Okay, when we come back, Brownie Points, Struddy's World. We'll take up and ask us anything as well. Tons of content ahead here on Got Your Back, so please stay with us, courtesy our friends at Timberhouse. For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has delivered a high-quality membership experience to Edmonton and area. And now it's even better.
Drainage and irrigation improvements in 2024 have taken course conditions to a new level. This commitment to long-term sustainability means exceptional playing conditions all season long. Belvedere's tee sheet availability is unmatched, so join now and experience golf the way it was meant to be played, on your schedule. Visit belvederegcc.com today.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
This is paused. Hold on, I'm going to get to it.
All right, welcome back to the show. Time now for Brownie Points, brought to you by the Alberta Ram Dealers. Get 10 years of built-in confidence at your Alberta Ram dealer with Canada's best full-size truck. Limited powertrain warranty. Every new 2026 Ram truck comes with a 10-year, 160,000-kilometer warranty. Go check out this spectacular machine at your Ram dealer today. Rob Brown?
Well, I'm going to start outside of tonight's Oiler game for this first set of Brownie Points. I don't know if you guys saw it, but tonight in Pittsburgh, the Penguins were up 3-2 late in the hockey game, and the Ducks took a penalty with 18 seconds left. Face off in their own end, the Ducks are shorthanded. They get control of the puck, go the length of the ice, and score a shorthanded goal with 0.1 seconds to go in the game. So, I got 19.59 Brownie Points to Beckett Seneke for the game-tying goal in a Ducks victory that had loss written all over it. I got minus 40 to the Oilers for their first 40 minutes of this hockey game. The Oilers had played a very weak, the Oilers had played very well for the last 3 weeks and were facing a struggling team on a long road trip that had given up 7 goals last night. This was a game that the Oilers should have jumped all over the Sabres and didn't. The Oilers lacked any sense of urgency, and his coach even used that word himself, till they were down 3-0. Not good enough for the Oilers tonight. I got minus 28 to the stat line tonight. It's sometimes stats don't tell the full story. No player has a bigger difference between his good games and his bad games than Evan Bouchard. And despite a stat line tonight of 28 minutes played, 1 assist, and was even plus minus, this was a tough night for number 2. From the Thompson steal for the second goal to the lost battle of the overtime face-off, it was an off night for a player who had been trending in a very positive way for the last month. I got 19 Brownie Points to Strud's old teammate, little boy. Shane Doan's kid had a sensational game tonight. There always has to be pressure on a kid of an NHL star trying to live up to the brilliance of his father. But Josh Doan probably won't end up in the Hall of Fame like his father will. But if he has more games like tonight, he's going to have a nice NHL career. He has 2 goals tonight, and his second goal was a thing of beauty going between his legs on the power play. Good for the young Doan kid. I got minus 4 Brownie Points to the Oilers' power play tonight. You can complain about the refs tonight, as my friend Schauger did. You can say the Oilers were flat through 40, as everyone on Twitter did. But this game could have been decided on the Oilers' power play. The Oilers' PP has been great all season long, and it is the best in the National Hockey League. But tonight they went 0 for 4 against the third-best penalty-killing unit in the NHL. And former Oiler Ryan McLeod was a big reason for that. He was fantastic tonight, incredibly tenacious on the penalty kill, and the Sabres penalty kill was a big reason they got the full 2 points. And those tonight are my Brownie Points.
Yeah, I think you're bang on with all of it. That was a pretty nasty little between the legger there, Struds. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I remember Josh Schoen came to Edmonton to play in the Brick tournament. I saw Donor and his wife Saw him play just a little bit, and he was so little. Now I look at him; he's out there, and he's a good player. He's smart. He's a player. They made the trade to get he and Michael Kesselring,
Kesselring.
right? And
Yep.
Kesselring's out injured, I think. But yeah, no, I mean they're two good players they've got there. And JJ Paterk is pretty good himself, but these two guys obviously help the depth of Buffalo.
Wade Holloway says, wow, Schauger didn't lose any brownie points tonight. Right, Wade? There's a reason for that. Got Your Back Christmas party on Friday night. Randine and I hosting the two knuckleheads and their wives. So Brownie has to be nice to me for the rest of the week so that I feed him decent food. And he remains invited to the party because he wants to come hang out with Randine and Shona because he likes them best.
What's the dress code for that? Are we going appropriate or just a little bit flirty? Like, what do you want me to wear?
How about this? How about you let Shona dress you so you look half decent?
Be a little bit too much skin for your liking, buddy, but I'll do it. I'll do it if that's what you want.
Brownie, should we insist on the that farmer shirt that he had on the night out last time we went out with friends?
Oh,
Well,
I
it'd
look good
be
in
good
that.
because then we can get our picture taken with Struds. It'll make us look better because he'll
Yeah.
have he had a little pea head. Remember, that
No,
thing makes
yeah.
him have a little pea head.
Zuby made me look so bad in there. That's why I didn't want to give him the hug when I saw him. He screwed me over.
With the sofa, the camper sofa picture.
Oh my goodness. Somebody asking Shona's homemade taco flavoring on the way. Yeah, we'll get Shona to bring over that.
Yeah, it's called water.
Yeah, all Strud's favorites. Shona's taco, homemade taco seasoning. We'll have cranberry sauce. We'll have to, and no mustard. Absolutely no mustard.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Struddy promoted this one, so we should have a good edition of Struddy's World coming up. Roll it, Zoobs.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy. God, I look good.
It is time for Struddy's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products, Alberta's leading supplier of vinyl products, offering premium materials for fences. Whether you're looking for a professional contractor or planning to tackle the project yourself, they have the resources and expertise to help. Canadian-owned and operated, locations in Calgary and Edmonton. Check them out online at dlrvinylproducts.ca. Why would you buy a shirt like that, Struds?
Practice. We talking about practice? Oh, we're talking about practice.
Again?
I get it. I get it that people are feeling like the Oilers are tired, and they are. They've had 2 long runs to the finals and all those types of things. It's not easy. I get it. But you need to take advantage of some practice days when you have the opportunity. Yesterday, they didn't have a practice. They came out very flat today. They weren't going. I get it. It's short versus long-term rest and reward. The short term is I think it actually hurts you game in, game out when you have some time at home to have a practice and you don't have that. And you showed up flat tonight. Long term, coach is probably thinking, well, I'm going to give them some time off now. They've played a ton of hockey and that'll help further down the road. I get it, but it's a delicate balance. And obviously today it wasn't the right call. I feel very comfortable saying they didn't have the right call not having a practice yesterday. Played today. They're going to practice tomorrow. I don't care what they do. I think there needs to be a little bit of review, a constant trying to get those habits into their game. But I'm not going to get off this pedestal that I like to call practice until they are finding the right rhythm within their game and its consistency, boys. So I'll just hang up and listen.
See, I understand everything you say, Struds, and I'd like to agree with you, but that goes against every fiber in my body. I hate practice. I really do. Never liked it. Didn't like it when I played. Didn't like coaching practices.
What?
So I'm gonna go with the rest and relaxation is trumps any kind of practice. I was a terrible practice player, horrible practice player. I just like playing games. So I am the wrong person to ask about this. So I'm going to hang up and also listen to Shock.
You know what?
I asked Chris Knobloch the other day about, the ability to kind of balance some actual practice time with days off and mixing that in, just days where players get a chance to be away from it, players get a chance to take a break. And, the idea that they could actually give players a day because they'd had lots of practices, I think they felt was pretty meaningful for them. So I think it's a delicate balance, Struds, and I understand what you're saying. But yeah, it's one of those ones where it's just like, it is a tough balance. They have had a crazy schedule, and that does need to be acknowledged. But at the same time, there's lots for them to be continually working on.
Yeah, so I would say this here. Listen, Brownie, I get it. I get the practice not for everyone, but sometimes the coach has to be the adult in the room, understanding like this is what we need. What I think they could do. So listen, let's say their practice yesterday at noon. 30, you walk on the ice, say, guys, we're going to practice for 34 minutes. These are the things that we're going to do. So we're getting on at 12. At 12:34, we're done. Go home. I don't want to see a morning skate. We're not going to have a morning skate. You can come here and we can meet. You can stretch. You can jump in the cold tub, get a massage, paint your nails, whatever you want to do. But I do not want you going on that ice. It's not an option. We're just not skating. And then you hit the ground running. And that kind of gives you some rest as well. Because a morning skate, honestly, it doesn't do anything team-wise. Individually, I think there was time to work on stuff, and I actually enjoyed that as well. But team-wise, you get it on the off days, the non-game days.
All right. We're super late tonight, so Brownie, we're going to cut you loose right there, buddy.
All right, guys.
See you, old dog.
later. Talk to you Thursday.
Get some sleep.
Talk to you in a couple of days. That was Struddy's World, brought to you by DLR Vinyl Products. All right, when we come back, take a look at the scoreboard around the league. We'll take a lap, see what else is going on out there, and then ask us anything. Lots ahead here on the show.
Choosing to buy a home is one of the biggest financial and personal decisions you'll ever make. It's a decision that requires strategic planning, market expertise, and a trusted advisor to guide the way. The team at Body Realty with Royal LePage AR team combines deep market knowledge, forward-thinking guidance, and exceptional dedication to make the process effortless and stress-free. Where every client is treated like the only client, visit BaddyRealty.com, a real estate group like no other.
Why would you? Nobody puts in wood windows or siding anymore, so why put in wood fences? A maintenance-free vinyl fence from DLR is backed by a lifetime warranty and will save you time. Weekends are for playing, not painting. Go vinyl at dlrvinylproducts.ca.
So my bad.
No, good. All right, welcome back to the show. Time for us to check the Bridge Sports Therapy scoreboard. If you've been putting off treatment, now's the time to book and make the most of your coverage before it renews in 2026. Year-end availability is filling up fast across all locations, so don't wait. With clinics in Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Lethbridge, and St. Albert coming soon, the Bridge provides accessible team-based care across Alberta. Learn more at thebridge.fit. I should have stopped you, Struds, but I was not 100% sure because I was not there yesterday.
Yeah.
But we'll just give you a little mini redo on Struddy's World. Oilers actually were on the ice yesterday.
Yeah, my bad. So I was thinking today's Monday, and they did have Sunday off. They did practice Monday, and then they obviously had a game Tuesday. So my bad. So I'll just take that one back. I kind of had that one in the holster. I was pretty fired up to deliver that one as I was watching the first and second period. So my bad. I was wrong. It happens. So sorry, Chris Knobloch and the players, I guess, at some level.
Yeah. All good, big guy. 99% of your Struddy's World are out of this world, so we're going to give you that one. We're going to give you that one 7 days a week. Why would you say they didn't practice? All right, Struddy, let's take a look at that scoreboard, buddy. Lots of other action around the league tonight.
Yeah, 10 games tonight. I found an interesting tweet. This one's from Arda Okal. He's a broadcaster on ESPN. He said this. Tuesday was the first time in NHL history we had 4 game-tying goals in the final 15 seconds of regulation. Also, the second time in NHL history that we had 2 game-tying goals at 1958 or 1959. Pretty crazy. That's quite the stat. I'm not usually a stat guy, but I really was interested in that.
Yeah.
So the 10 games tonight, a couple that matter to the Oilers. The Islanders defeat the Golden Knights 5-4 in a shootout. Emil Heinemann gets the shootout winner to bring that one home for the Islanders. The Ducks continue to roll along. They get the 4-3 win again in a shootout tonight. Leo Carlson, who's having a hell of a year. Boy, they developed that guy, right? Gets a shootout winner for them. The Flyers take it to the Sharks 4-1. They run away with that one. Konechny gets an empty netter to make his 8th goal of the year. Stars beat the Jets. Jets continue to kind of struggle. And then finally, the Blues lose to the Bruins, who keep plugging away in that really chaotic Atlantic division. Fraser Minton gets his 5th goal of the year. Robbie Thomas gets 1. Castella gets 2. And then Fraser Minton also gets his 6th goal of the year. That trade from Toronto is reaping its benefits, everybody.
Yeah. How about the Nashville Predators? I mean, anyone can beat anyone on any given night, but the Predators grabbing a couple from the Avalanche. Now, again, the Avalanche still pick up a point. They never lose in regulation, but the Preds snagging a point from Colorado is notable.
Yeah, they do. And I think the Avalanche was on the second half of back-to-back. And, you know, I think it's notable, to steal your word, Reece Schaefer gets his 2nd goal of the year, second goal of his NHL career for the Preds.
All right, that was our scoreboard, brought to you by the Bridge Sports Therapy and Training. Let's take a couple laps around the league, see what else is going on. Brought to you by Riverside Motorsports, family-owned and operated, serving Edmonton and area for over 55 years, featuring top brands, delivering the best selection in the province, a huge inventory, parts and accessories, and recognized as a #1 KTM dealership in the country. Check them out online, www.riversidemotorsports.com. Struds?
All right, let's jump into it here. Incident between Tampa and Toronto the other night. Bobby McMahon gets into it with one of the Lightning players and comes down and chops him. Now, it grazes the helmet, catches a little bit of shoulder, and goes down. I felt this was probably going to be a money pit for him. It turns out he gets a little more than that. He gets a 1-game suspension. I do agree, though, with the idea of the intention still has to be recognized, even though he can't deliver the bro directly where he wanted, which was, to me, in what I saw, was to the head, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, the league has no choice. Like, if you whack someone across the head with your stick and you're careless swinging in that direction, whether you catch it flush or not, you're kind of putting the league in a no-win situation. So I didn't really have a problem with this one, Struds. I'll just put my caveat out there once again that I can't wait until they start hitting from behind, the actual most dangerous, much more common play in hockey, when they start handing the suspensions out that are needed for that, to police that properly.
You know, it's a bigger conversation I don't want to get into, but I think minor hockey, they have to also review how they look at hitting from behind. To me, it's everywhere. We've taken out hitting from hitting to the head, but the hitting from behind in minor hockey, it is out there. I'm really out there. Just go watch a couple games. You know what I'm talking about. Next up, the Habs lose 6-1 tonight, and they immediately call up Jacob Fowler, 21-year-old goalie, just about a .920 save percentage, with Laval. So they obviously are not thrilled with what's going on between the pipes, and they've got Jake Fowler coming up to the rescue.
What's a fair expectation? Like, what's hey?
I don't know. I mean, Tampa had, I think, 3 goals in the first period. It's they're I don't think they're thrilled with where their net mining's at. And, maybe they'll be aggressive. They have some assets. Maybe they'll be aggressive for a goalie that's out there. The Tristan Jarry continues to circle around that they want to move him. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not an insider. I'm just throwing out a name that maybe we've heard in circles before.
Oilers Forever One saying, agree with you, Struddy. The worst is the slew foot that happens way too often. Worst hit in hockey, going back to our last point. So Oilers Forever not loving the slew foot.
Now, last one, and I don't want to laugh about this, but it is, I found it funny. So Jason Zucker is a player for the Sabres, and he played last night for the Sabres in Calgary. Came here and he isn't playing. So today he was ruled out week to week with both upper and lower body injuries. So I
said
don't
you
want to
didn't
laugh,
want to laugh.
but I know, but listen, and I hope he's okay. And I'm not so.
Of
Anyways,
course.
this is according to Matthew Fairburn. Says Sabre coach Lenny Ruff said Jason Zucker played through a pretty significant injury last night. Said he's dealing with upper and lower bodies injuries and will be out week to week. I mean, I've had injuries. It's never been upper and lower body. And I can only imagine like the treatment you have to get. And it's just be a nightmare. So obviously he had something that was problem. And then he had something else come up that's the opposite part of his body. But I don't remember seeing upper and lower body injury report for a skater in the regular season. You may have, Shaug, I have not.
General body injury. What was the buddy in the playoffs for the Jays in the World Series? What were they? Oh, man.
The one in baseball they always talk about is general body soreness.
Yes.
And that one is like, are you like, I'm sorry, I had to read that again. Like I'll be on tsn.ca. Whoever, Jason Strudwick can't play general body sore. This pitcher for the or third baseman for the Jays. I'm like, I'm sorry. What, How do you even tell your buddies that? What's wrong? I got general body soreness. Oh, okay. Yeah, sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
take
heads up.
the night off. Take the night off.
Unbelievable. Load management.
That's Taking a Lap, brought to you by Riverside Motorsports. We had an interesting poll tonight, Zuby. Where did it land tonight? We were assessing a little blame action on the overtime winner.
Yeah, we'll have to play the blame game, so we thought we'd let the stream duke it out. So the question tonight was which Oiler was most at fault for the OT goal, and this was really close out of the gate, and then it pulled away. Evan Bouchard taking the brunt of it, 49% of the vote. 97, Connor McDavid, 38%. So still people recognizing, that this more than one person to point the finger at here. Draisaitl getting 7% and Stu Skinner getting 6%, as I just chose to put every Oiler on the ice to give the option there. So they got some votes. And I'll tell you about the general body soreness. I like to abbreviate stuff or make acronyms. So call it GBS. I got a bad case of the GBS. And then I think you can kind of get away with that. It doesn't sound as soft.
Yeah. I got a feeling over the holiday season, I might be calling it with a general GBS. Acute GBS.
Acute, yes.
We're all going to have GBS after the Got Your Back Christmas party on Friday night. Me, you, Brownie, and the families. We'll be calling in 6 Saturday, maybe. By the way, a reminder, everybody, On Location Sunday. We talked about it earlier in the show. Looking forward to that at the Canadian Brew House in Lewis Estates. So the Oilers and Habs will be there watching the game. So come on out, say hello. Please come over and say hi to us, and look forward to seeing some of you folks out there. All right, let's get to Ask Us Anything. Got a great number on the stream. We're past midnight here. Real strong number, still rocking it with us late into the evening. It's brought to you by BJ Electric Supplies. Founded in 1976, they are a full-line distributor providing quality wholesale electrical products for use in industrial, commercial, and residential settings. Proudly owned and operated in Edmonton. Visit bjelectric.ca. Zuby, let's rip through some.
Sure. We piled on to a bunch of other people. Quaddy pointing out Hyman did not have a good game. Obviously, the penalties, those were some borderline calls, but he took 3 minors at far end of the ice. Not always great times. What did you think of the penalties? What do you think of Hyman's game big picture tonight, Shogger?
Yeah, I mean, he would be the first to admit he was right along with everybody else in that first 40 minutes where there wasn't enough out there. I find when the power play isn't producing, like he might miss the odd chance that you want him to put in Struds. But, I mean, I don't think anybody actually works harder during the power play than Hyman. He's grinding it out in front, grinding it out beside the net, grinding it like it often has very little to do with his contribution, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't touch the puck. Like I bet you went and looked at his possession time in the power plays. Like it'd be seconds, under 10 seconds compared to the others. And that's not his role, right? And that's not a shot on him. That's just the way that they function. It's just on a night, he took the penalties, and that's really hard to get. And you can say, okay, we can dispute maybe one, but 2 of them are probably, pretty legit. So here he is now, taking 3 penalties in a game that, he probably didn't need that. And the Oilers really didn't talk about the PK at all. I think didn't they give up 2 tonight? I think, if I remember correctly. So that's a tough night for the PK.
Noel Rinsky saying, after the major Bouchard gaffe, don't you think a player would have some pride and not do what he did in overtime? Now, I don't think this is necessarily pride. I'm sure that the pride is there, but I think, Struddy, probably not every guy responds to those big gaffes in the same way. They don't always step up. They might have a psyche where they're more prone to another mistake, right?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I think Evan Bouchard, is a pretty low heartbeat. Like, I don't know that he really gets that worked up about anything. I think that's what makes him elite when he's at his best. He's just so calm with the puck. Yeah, I made a mistake. I'll get it back. And oftentimes you do see him get it back. Unfortunately tonight it didn't go his way. But he's been really good lately. So his job is to not let this turn into multiple games where he has kind of a tough outing, just like any player has to as you work through a season.
Short memory. He's a short memory guy. He's just not like, I just don't think he sits there jarred for the rest of the night after he makes a turnover like that. I think he just goes to the bench and then, does his thing. And that's part of what comes with that low pulse point.
All right. And the point I was trying to make there too is just not everybody reacts the same way to making a mistake, or it could compound. You could step up, do something different, but there's nothing to prevent something else bad from happening because something bad already did happen. Stupid Peter, go easy on yourself, Peter. By the way, this is not a stupid question. He wants to know, what position do each of you guys think is the Oilers' biggest need? What's the team's biggest need right now, Shogger?
Well, assuming the bulk of their lineup ends up healthy, right? That's what let's put that caveat on it. I do believe their target will probably end up being a top 6 forward, but that's kind of also assuming that things are status quo in net, which I'm not sure. I don't know at this point. So I'll say top 6 forward, with the caveat that unless they feel a trade comes along that helps them in net, and then maybe they can't do both. Struds?
Yeah, sounds like you're Humpty Dumpty riding the wall there. I'll be very clear. No, just kidding. I'm about the same. I can't make that conversation even start to have it until we see this lineup healthy, fully loaded, and playing the way they need to. Because my gut says top 6 forwards too, Shogger. I'm not that's mine all day long. But can they play the right way away from the puck all the time? How does the goaltending look? Like, all those things have to add up. Because I tell you, the Oilers can take one punch here. They can't get a goalie and a top 6 forward and help on the bottom 6. That cannot happen. So they need some people in the bottom 6 to stand up. They need the team play to be solid in front of their netminders to be solid. And that, I think, will make it easy for the top 6, or clear for the top 6. Not easy, clear.
Humpty Dumpty didn't stay on the wall. By the end, he had fallen. He was no longer on the wall.
Oh, I'm familiar with it. But by the way, the guy that I want is Alex Tuch. I love that. I love the way he plays hockey. I think put him beside Leon. Oh my God. Him, Leon, and Paul Colson. Heavy line that can score. Oh, sign me up. It's going to be expensive.
Gong Show says in response to this question, a Frederick type player who isn't Frederick. I thought that was funny.
There you go.
Noel Rinsky, speaking of the bottom 6, came in just with a pretty simple hot take. He thinks that Lazar is better than Noah Philp. Do you agree with that assessment? Do you think that the team feels that way, Struddy?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what I think. He's playing over top of Philp right now. He's winning draws. Like, you notice he's going out there specifically for D zone draws on the right side and winning them and changing. That was to be, I was hoping Philp would be that guy and develop in there. So Lazar is overtaking it, and Philp is on the outside looking in, Shoggy.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Oiler lineup here. Like, forwards that he's currently out playing, Trent Frederick. I would say you can make an argument that he's been more noticeable than Matthias Janmark in a number of games here. Adam Henrique on some nights, I would say he's more on the positive side. Again, his role is easier. Tomášek, definitely. Mangiapane, without question. So, yeah, Lazar is, just in terms of for the number of minutes he gets and what he gives them, I think he's been really good on outplaying a number of guys.
Right
yes,
shot
definitely
centers.
Further ahead than Philp.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sounds right shot center, 7-1 on the faceoffs today. Like that's, hey,
Couple
we're
of
looking
great
for a right
hits.
shot center. This is
Couple of really good.
I'm here. I can do it, guys.
Yeah.
Okay, two more. I'll go here for we've talked about this from time to time, but Soggy Corpse says, do you think that having the refs answer questions after the game would help remove these games that they take over in this person's opinion? We've talked about this before. I don't think we'll ever see it happen. Do you think it would help? But really, what do you think they're going to sit there and say? Yeah, I blew that one. I don't know. Struddy or Schauger, go ahead.
Well, if they have a chance to get into the locker room and look at the calls before they would be asked questions, then yeah, you probably would have guys going, yeah, I took another look and not ideal. Like, I think. I don't think they'd sit there and defend bad calls, Struds, but I just don't think we're ever going to see it.
Never. And you don't need to. People want to pound a flash. Oh, the guy made a mistake. Yeah, we all make mistakes every day. Unfortunately, these guys are public. I just don't agree with it at all. And go back to everyone, is it Soggy or Shoggy Corpse or whatever it's called? Go back and watch the penalties and just tell me that there wasn't some look that you could see it as a penalty. Like I can't stand when people challenge when someone puts their stick parallel to the ice and touches someone's glove. The rule is that's a penalty. That's what it is. Like Tomášek's goal, he runs the goalie in the blue paint. That's a penalty, right? He's got to avoid that contact. Like, you cannot like the call, but that's the call. If it happened to Skinner, we'd all be losing. And in fact, we didn't even talk about this. Their goalie leaves, I think, because of that injury. Oh, yeah. And Alex Lyon goes in there and actually has a couple pretty good saves right off the top of his game.
Also want to note some pushback on the stream. People not liking that I said Lazar has outplayed Janmark at times. Noel Rinsky says Rishaug, Janmark has been superb. VGA Punk says, I agree, Janmark has been solid. So, yeah, might have got over the skis a little bit with that one. But the point is Lazar is playing really well compared to where he started. So that would be my thought. Thanks for keeping me honest.
Okay, last one here goes to the Blominator, and I think we've probably gone here before, but if I can't remember the answer, I think it's worth doing again. Blomer saying maybe a new pregame meal would wake up Bouchard. What was your go-to pregame meal? Schauger, of course, you can chime in on this too from your going back to the Dub days. You want to go first?
Yeah, I feel like it was chicken. I wasn't a big pasta before games guy. So I feel like I was like chicken of some sort. What about you, Struds? You spent so many years doing this. Was it the same all the time?
So I split a plate into thirds, a third chicken, a third pasta, a third vegetables, preferably corn or broccoli. And I'd have one bun and a Diet Coke. Boom. Lock it. It was the same for 1,000 years. It was the same. It was nuts. And every now and then I make it for the kids. They're like, you ate this? This stuff is crap. I'm like, well, it's pretty good. Like, I liked it. I loved it. So, yeah, home or away was always the same.
I love it. I did these. I worked, did some video work for the Canucks for a little bit in their 50th season before COVID shut it down when I was still living there in Vancouver. And they were doing all these retrospective things of, players, some of the first year Canucks and stuff like that. And they were doing some of these, like, ask them a bunch of questions. And for all of them, the pregame meal of that era was like a big steak and potatoes. Every time I heard that, I was just like, oh my God, that's so heavy. It's
Could you imagine how digesting that would be insane?
Yeah. Canadian 123 noting that Struddy is using his imitation voice again.
I love it.
Yeah.
Everyone, Struddy's mimic is a Poindexter nerd, is the way Matt Blom describes that imitation. Okay, that was Ask Us Anything. Great contributions, everybody. We appreciate you. Let's wrap her up with our play of the day. brought to you by Modern Measure. Gonna pick up my suit soon. I'm fired up. Holiday shopping doesn't have to be hard. Give the gift a looking sharp with a Modern Measure gift card in Edmonton's Ice District. They are the leaders in made-to-measure style, from tuxes to custom denim. Buy a gift card now and get a bonus 10% extra. Committed to providing you with a 5-star experience with a personal touch, attention to detail that will exceed your expectations. I can speak to that. I went through it. Very cool process. Visit MDRN Measure. That's MDRNmeasure.com. What is our play of the night, Struds?
Tons. I'm going to go to the shootout, Nashville and Colorado. Ryan O'Reilly comes down the right side and then slides to his left. Absolutely sends a bomb snapshot right over top of the right shoulder. It was an absolute beauty and ended up being the winner for Nashville over the mighty Colorado Avalanche.
A team that hasn't had a whole lot going right gets a big one there. Ryan O'Reilly's name, by the way, I think Friedge might have mentioned him as there being some interest. Where was that they were talking about him going? Was it Jersey that he was potentially talking about? But anyways, point being here, would you have some interest in Ryan O'Reilly, Struds?
Well, yeah, I do. For this team, though, I don't think that's an area of need. So, yes, I do as a player, not for the Oilers roster.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. That was a great show, guys. Appreciate
Great
you.
times.
Thanks. We'll talk after Thursday.
Hey, everybody get over to the Discord. We got about 15, 20 people over there. There's a category over there called post-show chat that I'll just have open on my computer here as I'm doing my thing. So maybe I'll be in there if anybody else here from the stream wants to keep it going. Everyone really cool over on the welcome page over there, which is the first place, or the say hi page. It sends you and basically forces you to prove you're a real person, to say hello and introduce yourself. And lots of people posting pictures of their pets over there, which is awesome. And I can't wait to go look and dig in a little bit deeper of everyone's cool cats, kitties and doggies, and that's a cool thing people are starting already. So get over there, keep it going, and we'll all get to know each other a little better.
What is this leveling up thing? Why are people... I'm just looking right now. So Allison has leveled up?
Yeah, if you the more you contribute, the more levels you go up, and you get a cooler... I forget what it's called. I'm just learning this stuff too. So
okay,
you get a cooler... I can't think of the word for it.
Okay, sounds good. Well, let's all figure it out together. I'll jump in there for a couple of minutes while I'm having my late night healthy snack, Struds. And I'm sure you'll dip in here or there. So thanks to everybody for joining us. Thanks for checking out the old Discord. And, oh, by the way, Struddy's World tomorrow, 12 to 1 o'clock live stream. Struds and Zuby. And who's the special guest tomorrow, Struds?
Noodles. Noodles will join us. So we'll talk about what's happening around the league with the big guy.
All right. Sounds good. 12 to 1 o'clock across all of our social channels. Have a great night, everybody. This has been Got Your Back, presented by Timberhouse Developments.
Just got that in there.
Yeah.